Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cameron Sports Podcast. I'm your host here, Cameron Lindsay, back with another amazing episode for y'all. First off, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. I just want to say what I'm thankful for is another year, being alive, seeing friends, family, or my significant other. Thankful for almost being done with school, graduated in May. Thankful for continuing to pursue my dreams of being a professional sports journalist / analyst. Thankful for starting my sports podcast channel. This right here, doing it bit by bit. Just thankful for a lot. Like I said, all the special people in my life. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm thankful for this special lady in my life. She's my future wife. She know who she is. Just thankful for a lot. And I just hope y'all just remember all y'all be thankful. Life's not easy. Like I said, I'm not here to give you all the advice because heck, I need to follow my own advice too. So I'm not perfect at all. Far from it. So I'm just taking things one day at a time. We're all going through it, but I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all, all my friends, family, people I love. So yeah. But yes, today's episode is going to be strictly off of the last regular season of the 2023 college football season. After this week, the conference championship games begin, and then we'll get more into. And then we'll start talking about the college football playoff. I'm gonna try to bring on a special do that episode with a special guest of mine, a friend of mine. Bring him on the podcast, and me and him talk some conference championship games or college football playoff. Bowl games, matchups, New Year's Six, all that. Oh, now before I start this episode, I also want to say for my WWE fans, Survivor Series is this Saturday, 8 p.m. on Peacock. Like I said, you can download Peacock. It's only like $6.99 a month. So if you're a WWE fan and you want to watch the pay-per-view, it's $6.99 a month on Peacock. So, but let's get into this week's games. Week 13, it's been a pretty interesting season. Like I said, I did not see, Missouri being as good. West Virginia, I thought, be average six games or maybe 7. Right now we're 7-4, so kind of where I thought we should be at. I'm proud of West Virginia. James Madison is very, very good. Much better in the second year of being an FBS team. Liberty is undefeated in their first year in the Conference USA, and they're gonna be playing it in the Conference USA championship game in their first year. Iowa's pretty good. They make the Big Ten championship game even without their starting quarterback, Cade McNamara, being out for the season. Oregon State is very, very good. Like I said, like last year, 8-3. What else? Arizona is good this year. They're ranked 15th, 8-3. Florida State being undefeated. I didn't think that, even though they just lost their quarterback. Shout out to Jordan Travis, for a speedy recovery. I know his career at Florida State is over, and I hate to see it go like that. I really do. I thought Florida State had a real shot at making the playoff. They still do because they're ranked 5th, even though they fell down a spot. And Washington is ranked 4th now. I still think Florida State got a good chance of making the playoff. But it's gonna be hard. They're gonna be playing Florida on the road, even though Florida's 5-6. They're gonna be in Florida. That's a rivalry game. That's an in-state rivalry game. So, and Florida's 5-6, so they need one more win to be bowl eligible. So if they want to be bowl eligible, they got to ruin Florida State's chances at the college football playoff. I mean, if they lose this game, it's over. Even though it's going to be one loss, but I don't think a one-loss ACC champion is going to get in the playoff. I just don't. But if Florida State beats Florida, like let's say they dominate Florida and they get the ACC championship game and dominate Louisville. And Louisville's a good team. They're 10-1. I didn't see that. I didn't see them being 10-1 at all. So that's another surprise. If Florida State beats Louisville, let's say they dominate Louisville, then let's say Oregon beats Washington, then you might have to consider Florida State in over Oregon. Even though I personally would put Oregon. I think Oregon's better than Florida State, even with Jordan Travis a little bit, but especially without him, I think Oregon should be over Florida State. And of course, Georgia's number 1. That's no surprise. Alabama being 8th. A little. I think they're right where they belong right now because even though Alabama, if they do beat Georgia, Bama should be in. I know last year people argued that Alabama should have been in even with 2 losses, but I think TCU deserved to be in, even though they did get blown out by Georgia. But y'all forget, TCU did beat Michigan in the college football playoff semifinal. And Michigan obliterated Ohio State, who almost beat Georgia in the semifinal in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. So, it's weird like that. But, I mean, like I said, TCU deserved it, but we're going to talk this college football playoff. We're gonna talk it, but let's get into the Week 13 last regular season games, and I'll make my predictions. Starting off with the Egg Bowl between 12th ranked Ole Miss, who's 9-2, versus Mississippi State, 5-6. Now Mississippi State did fire their head coach after only 1 year. Lane Kiffin, another good year at Ole Miss, 9-2. If they would have beaten Alabama, they probably would be playing in the SEC championship game. But hey, it is what it is. But this could be a trap game. Ole Miss got to be careful because, like I said, this is like I said about Florida State and Florida. Ole Miss and Mississippi State is an in-state rivalry. Especially, I'm from Mississippi, so I know. This is an in-state rivalry, the Egg Bowl. They're playing on the road in Starksville. So this could be a trap game. Mississippi State looking to be bowl eligible. They're motivated. Their head coach got fired. So, but I'm still going to go Ole Miss in a close one. This is going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Now, what surprised me was a blowout? No, but being that it's rivalry week, and this is the Egg Bowl, one of the best rivalries in college football, I'm gonna go Ole Miss slightly over Mississippi State. Next up, we got TCU, who's 5-6, versus number 13th ranked Oklahoma, 9-2. Now TCU was the runner-up last year in the national championship game against Georgia. They have fell off big. Like I said, they lost their first game to Colorado to start the regular season off. And then after that, they kind of struggled. Like I said, West Virginia, we beat them. So I was kind of shocked about that. But I'm going to have to go Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's vying to play in the Big 12 championship game. They got a shot to make it. So I'm going to go Oklahoma over TCU because they like I said, I want to see Oklahoma versus Texas in the Big 12 championship game, even though I really want to see West Virginia. But I think next year we got a real good shot to make it. Up next, we got 17th ranked Iowa, who's 9-2, who will be playing in the Big 10 championship game against the winner of Ohio State and Michigan. But this game, they'll be taking on Nebraska, who's 5-6. This right here, this could be another track game. Nebraska kind of started the year off a little down. They started 0-2, 0-3. They're 5-6 now with, just need one more win to become bowl eligible. They're at home, so they're the underdog. So I know they're looking for the upset, but I'm going to have to go Iowa slightly. I think Iowa's probably going to run the ball. They play pretty solid defense. So I'm going to go Iowa over Nebraska. Next up, we got UTSA, who's 8-3. This is their first year in the American Conference. And they'll be taking on number 23 ranked Tulane, who's 10-1. Tulane won the American last year, so they're looking, getting ready to play in the American Championship game next week. Also fighting for a New Year, again, another New Year's Six bowl game for those who don't remember. So every year, one non-group of 5 team gets a New Year's Six bowl. The highest ranked non-group of 5 team gets a New Year's Six bowl bid. Like I said, now I have to figure out how that's going to work next year. Next year the playoff going to 12 teams, so more non-Power 5 schools going to have a chance to play in the college football playoff next year when it goes from 4-team format to 12-team format. I really look forward to a 12-team format. That's going to make it very interesting. You're going to have teams playing at home, hosting a home playoff game. Imagine a home playoff game in Alabama. That's going to be lit. But I'm going to go Tulane slightly over UTSA. This is going to be a good game, but I'm going to take Tulane over UTSA. Next up, got number 9th ranked Missouri, who's 9-2 versus Arkansas, 4-7. Now, Missouri is one of my biggest shockers. I did not see this coming. They're the second highest ranked third ranked highest SEC team behind Georgia, who's number 1, Alabama, who's 8th. Like I said, Missouri is the only team that has played Georgia the best the past 2 years. I think next year they could possibly beat Georgia because the game gonna be in Missouri next year. In Missouri. Well, if they play Missouri, because next year Oklahoma and Texas join the ACC, so I have to look at the schedule again. My apologies, y'all. But if Georgia does play Missouri next year, in Missouri, I think Missouri can get them. But that's next year. Let's talk about this game. Arkansas has had a terrible year. I thought they'd be better with KJ Jefferson at quarterback, but yeah, they can't beat. They can't stop. They couldn't guard or stop a parked car. So I'm gonna have to go Missouri big over Arkansas. Next up, we got Texas Tech 6-5 versus number 7th ranked Texas, who's 10-1. Like I said, I didn't see Texas being this good, but they got a chance to make the college football playoff. All they got to do is win the Big 12 championship game. Oregon beat Washington. Georgia beat Alabama. Oregon beat Washington. And of course, you know, the loser between Ohio State and Michigan, that's automatic. That's going to happen regardless. So I'm gonna go Texas big over Texas Tech. I think they handle business. Quinn Ewers, Adon Mitchell, and all them boys. I think they're going to handle business and get ready for the Big 12 championship game against either Oklahoma State, or Kansas State. So, but next up, we got I got 3, 4, 5. I got 5 highlighted games this week during Rivalry week. First up, number 16th ranked Oregon State 8-3 versus number 6th ranked Oregon 10-1. This is the Civil War. This is the 100 and I think 70th. Over 100, well over 100 years of Civil War games between these two schools. This could possibly be the last Civil War game in a while because Oregon will be going to the Big Ten next year, and Oregon State, there's no right now. It's only them and Washington State in the Pac-12 or Pac-2. We gotta call it the Pac-2. So this is gonna be a game Friday, 8:30 p.m. Like the rest of the games I mentioned earlier. Thanksgiving games Thursday and Friday. So yeah, these will be Thursday, Friday games. 8:30 p.m. But I know Oregon State did beat Oregon last year at home. Oregon was leading most of that game, and then Oregon State made a comeback for the ages. Oregon, if they would have beat Oregon State last year, so this is the same situation like last year. All Oregon had to do was beat Oregon State on the road, and they would have made the Pac-12 championship game. But because they lost, I think Utah or USC, one of them two schools automatically got in because Oregon lost. So if it happens again this year, Arizona, as long as Arizona beats Arizona State and Oregon loses, Arizona will go on to play Washington in the Pac-12 championship game. So, but I'm going to go Oregon. I think they're the superior team. Bo Nix, Heisman Trophy candidate. He's going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. You got Bucky. You got Troy Franklin, who's going to be a Biletnikoff Award finalist for best receiver in the nation. So, Oregon's defense play has been solid. So, yeah, I'm going to Oregon over Oregon State, at least by maybe 7-10 points. I'm going to take Oregon over Oregon State. My second highlighted game, this could be the game of the week right here. This right here is going to be game of the week. Number 2nd ranked Ohio State 11-0 versus number 3 ranked Michigan, also 11-0. The past 2 years, Michigan has beaten Ohio State beaten them badly. Both years have decided, who will go on to the Big Ten championship and the college football playoff. This is another Big Ten / college football playoff matchup decided between these two schools. Like I say again, Jim Harbaugh will not be coaching. Excuse me. He will not be coaching due to his suspension from the Big Ten. But of course, even though Jim Harbaugh will not be there, I trust Michigan more. I trust J.J. McCarthy. I trust Blake Corum. I trust that defense. Even though I don't like Colin Cowherd, he did say something that is true. The team that runs the ball the best wins the game. and Michigan is a run the ball first team. When they played Penn State, even though the score says it close, they dominated that game. They dominated Penn State that game. J.J. McCarthy only had like 60 passing yards, and they ran the ball so many times. Blake Corum had an amazing game, and Michigan balled out. You know, even though Ohio State does got the best receiver in the nation, arguably the best player in college football, Marvin Harrison Jr., I just don't trust Kyle McCord. I don't trust their quarterback all that well. I don't really trust their defense all that well. So I'm going to have to go Michigan in a close one. It may be a close one, but really, I'll say at least by 10. Probably. I'm going to go 10. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go 10. Like I said, this could be a close one, like I said again, but it would not surprise me if it's a blowout. Again, you know, Michigan being at home, like I said again, they run the ball better. I trust J.J. McCarthy is going to possibly be a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's going to be a first round pick most likely, and I just don't trust Ohio State's quarterback. Next up, got Kentucky 6-5 versus the 10th ranked Louisville 10-1. This is also an in-state rivalry between these two schools. But I'm gonna go Louisville. Louisville has been pretty good all year. They surprised me. They got a first-year head coach. Not a first-year head coach. You know, coach of the first year at that school, who was at Cincinnati last year, but now is at Louisville. Kentucky's a pretty decent school, but this probably most likely should be a close game. But I'm going to go Louisville. They're going to handle business and get ready for Florida State in the ACC Championship game. Next up, we got Texas A&M 7-4 versus 14th ranked 8-3 LSU. I almost said Louisiana. Well, I mean, they technically are Louisiana State University, but LSU, you know about LSU. Texas A&M has had a weird year. They fired Jimbo Fisher, and the buyout is over $70 million. So they're paying him $70 million to not coach that football team, literally. Because when he first got hired on, they signed him to a 10-year, $100 million contract. And like I said, Texas A&M, they recruit. They can recruit. You know, they got NIL money. They can recruit. Even when Kevin Sumlin was there, Texas A&M can always recruit, bring in 5-star, 4-star recruits like Alabama. But the thing is, they can never get the right coach, to get the players over the hump. You beat Alabama 1 year, but I have yet to see Texas A&M contend for an SEC championship. So, I don't know. But LSU, they got a Heisman. Right now, my Heisman Trophy frontrunner slightly over Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. He had another amazing game, even though it was against Georgia State, but he balled out. And I think he going to make another case for the Heisman Trophy this game, you know, because LSU won't be playing for the SEC championship game. So, I think he's going to ball out against Texas A&M, and I got LSU big over the Aggies. Next up, this is my third game I got highlighted. 8th ranked Alabama 10-1 versus Auburn 6-5. This is the Iron Bowl. The reason I got this highlighted, even though Auburn did get obliterated last week at home against New Mexico State. Yes, y'all, I said New Mexico State. Or was it? Yeah, New Mexico. One of the two schools. The only reason I do got to highlight because it is the Iron Bowl, in a rivalry game. Even though, let's say one team could be undefeated. It could be any level, high school, college, NFL. One team undefeated or got one loss. And then their in-state rival or their division rival it's a key game, or it could be a game where they got to win to get in the playoffs, or they got to win to become bowl eligible. And then the other team, this is their last, or even though Auburn is 6-5, they're bowl eligible, but they want to try to ruin Alabama's chances at a college football playoff. So, because if they lose this game, obviously the game against Georgia is going to be meaningless. I mean, not meaningless. They can still win the SEC championship. They just won't. I think they'll be out of the college football playoff. But something in my gut tells me, not that Auburn's going to win, but something tells me they possibly could win, though, if that makes sense. They possibly can win, even though they did get obliterated by New Mexico State. But I said, old buddy Jalen Milroe has been playing good, but I just feel like something telling me Auburn might play better this week than they did last week. Just maybe. But I'm going to go Alabama. Jalen Milroe has been playing better each week ever since they lost to Texas. And after the USF game, Alabama has been playing amazing, running the ball. Jalen Milroe using his legs, throwing the ball deep. Alabama playing good defense. So I'm going Alabama over Auburn at least by 10 to 12 points. Next up, we got Arizona 8-3 versus Arizona State 3-8. Like I said, this is an in-state rivalry. Arizona got a chance to make the Pac-12 championship game. All they got to do is win this game, and for Oregon to lose to Oregon State Friday night. So I'm gonna go Arizona against Arizona State easily. Next up, we got my fourth game highlighted. 5th ranked Florida State 11-0 versus Florida 5-6. Again, like I said, Jordan Travis suffered a brutal ankle injury. He's done. His career at Florida State is over. He's out for the season. Hate to see that go. Some people are saying that Jordan Travis shouldn't play that game against North Alabama, but I mean, come on, if you gotta at least play the first half, like especially that's your last year. You wanna, I don't know, but it was a freak accident. I hate to see that happen to him, but I feel like something tells me this could be an upset. I feel an upset coming. Florida, they kind of been up and down all year. For the first game of the season, they got millie-whopped at Utah on the road. Like, they was playing football like they just forgot how to play football. But I think I'm going to have to go Florida. I think I'm going Florida with the upset. Some people saying, like, oh, Florida State shouldn't got moved down over Washington because they lost their quarterback. Yes, they had. Should. That's a big factor. Jordan Travis was arguably a Heisman Trophy candidate. He was balling out. Come on now. Like, I don't know the name of their backup quarterback, even though he did play good, but that's against Northern Alabama. I don't even know where in Alabama Northern Alabama is. I don't know what the city is. So I'm going to go Florida over Florida State in an upset slightly over the Seminoles. Next up, we got number 1 ranked Georgia 11-0 versus Georgia Tech 6-5. Not gonna waste no time. I'm going Georgia big. Even though Georgia Tech has been playing pretty good, they got a bright future ahead of them. Playing better than I thought they would. But I'm gonna go Georgia over Georgia Tech. And lastly, my West Virginia Mountaineers 7-4 versus Baylor 3-8. What y'all think I'm going here? Now I'm going Baylor. Psych. I'm going West Virginia. Stop playing with it. We're going 8-4. We're going to go into our bowl game. We're going to win the bowl game. We're going to have more momentum heading into next year to win a Big 12 championship. We probably could have this year. If we would have beaten Oklahoma State like we should have, beaten Houston, losing in a Hail Mary. I'm not going to get too much into that, but yeah. Again, my predictions for rivalry week, the last week of the regular season, I got Ole Miss over Mississippi State. I got Oklahoma over TCU. I got Iowa over Nebraska. I got Tulane over UTSA. I got Missouri over Arkansas. I got Texas over Texas Tech. I got Oregon in the Civil War over Oregon State to advance to the Pac-12 championship game. I got number 3 ranked Michigan over Ohio State to advance to the Big Ten championship game. I got Louisville over Kentucky. I got LSU over Texas A&M. I got Arizona over Arizona State. I got Alabama over Auburn in the Iron Bowl. I got Florida in an upset over Florida State. As I said, Florida over Florida State. Watch, because Florida, they got to win this game to become bowl eligible. Florida State, they won't have Jordan Travis. I think that's a big factor. That's like if the Kansas City Chiefs lost Patrick Mahomes for the year. Do y'all expect the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl? No, not even close. And I like Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, but they probably might still make the playoffs. But they ain't gonna. They not winning no Super Bowl. Not even close. So I'm going Florida in the upset. Georgia easily over Georgia Tech, and my West Virginia Mountaineers over Baylor, big on the road in Waco, Texas. So, but yeah, I look forward to Conference Championship Week. I did it last year, giving my predictions over majority of the conference championship games. Like I said, either next week or the week after, I'm gonna try to make an episode, bring on a new guest on my show, my podcast. We're gonna talk about the season, give our predictions about the college football playoff, bowl game matchups, or the conference championship game. Either one, I'm gonna figure it out. Because the semester is about to end. I'm ready for it to end because I'm ready to graduate in May and just get this over with so I could give y'all, do my podcast even more without having to worry about schoolwork. Like, I know one thing, y'all. Once I graduate, if I don't gotta go back, I'm not going back to get a master's. I'm fine with my bachelor's. I'm proud of me getting my bachelor's. And like I said, I'm thankful for it. Like I said, even though people who don't go to college or finish, there's no knock on them, at all. I don't feel like I'm better than the next person at all, because there's people who don't have a college degree and they're a business owner, or they may work a 9 to 5 and make a lot of money. Like I said, for those you don't know, you can work a 9 to 5 and make a lot of money. I mean, depending on what you do, but me, I want to chase my dreams of being working for ESPN. I want to make $1 to $2 million a year. I want to go to work. I want to get on this podcast and enjoy what I do, love what I do. Like, every time I write these notes down, I love what I do. I don't have 1 million subscribers right now, but I love this. I gotta keep getting better at this. I gotta keep, putting my soul into this. So, and that's what I'm gonna do. I know I record on my phone, but once I get a MacBook and a camera, I promise you, I'm edit it, make it more better for y'all, and so I'm do what I can. So for right now, it's, just me, y'all, my phone, my sign, but we making it work, we being consistent. So, but right now I'm at 168. We like 32 subscribers away from 200. So please subscribe. If you know somebody, get them subscribed. It's Thanksgiving. If you're around your family, say, hey, do me a favor, keep subscribe to my friends, my Cameron Sports Podcast on YouTube. Just support them. Hit the subscribe button. That's it. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and happy Thanksgiving.